At Society, Devin and Nate enthuse over a successful business deal they've made. Lily comes in and complains about them celebrating without her. She confides that she just came from a meeting as well and has some news to share. How do you two feel about possibly bringing Damian on at Winters? Devin is upset that she discussed this with Damian without speaking to them first. He wonders whose idea it was. Lily says it was hers, and he seemed intrigued. Devin is still clearly not happy. Nate needs to hear more and asks what she offered. Lily wanted to talk to them first about his role and appropriate compensation. She admits it's part of a plan she has. Nate stops her. He thinks she knows where she's going with this, and he doesn't like it at all. Lily insists this is about business. Nate argues Damian is family. Lily counters that he didn't care about that when he offered him a fake job. Nate reminds Lily that he asked her to take a step back from her agenda with Damian. You agreed to let me and Amy deal with this. Lily says she's since realized they're also dealing with Aristotle Dumas. Nate's tired of hearing about him, but Lily fears he's interested in Winters. She wants to see if Damian can find out if he's a threat. Nate doesn't want his half-brother to think they're playing him again. Devin wants to hear the plan. Lily wants to see if Damian can find out what Dumas has planned. It would be part of the job offer. She will not lose their family business, and Damian might be the only person who can stop that from happening. Lily keeps debating with Devin and Nate, who is concerned this will hurt Damian. Lily says if he's interested in her offer, she can have him present it to Dumas as a way to get inside info on Winters. Devin gathers he'd pitch himself as a mole to look for weaknesses. Lily nods. That way, they know Dumas moves before he makes them. Nate gawps, you want Damian to be a spy. Devin thinks it could work if they can trust him. Nate fumes. He won't let his brother be used this way. He already feels his whole life has been a lie, and now they want him to live another lie. He won't let that happen. Lily feels for Damian and knows how much Nate cares for him. She can't let that cloud her judgment. She'll lay out the options and let him make the choice. Devin worries he'd give more information to Dumas than he does them. Nate trusts him. He asks what would happen after the Dumas threat is neutralized. Lily says he'd have a place in the family business. This is best for all of them. Every move they make will be about family first and business second. On the coffee house patio, Damian shows Holden photos from Boston and admits he and Nate got along well on the trip. He adds that he saw Lily when he got back and spent some quality time with her. Holden notes he's getting real tight, real fast with these folks in Genoa City. Damian asks if that's a problem for him. Holden insists he wants him to be happy. Damian argues he seems to want him to carry a grudge. Holden worries about him trusting people. Damian knows it's moving quickly, but his mom may not have much time. He appreciates Holden taking on work and being there for him. He may have a way to show him how much. Damian explains he has an intriguing offer from Lily in Genoa City. What if you take over my job in Lay? Holden sighs and accuses Damian of trying to get rid of him. Damian reminds Holden they're best friends. Holden asks Damian if he thinks Lily's job offer is legit. He says she doesn't mess around. Holden says she didn't trust him and now wants to bring him on board. They played him before. How does he know they're not playing him again? Damian admits she put it out there as a test of loyalty, how far he's willing to go to prove he's on the level. If Dumas wants Winters, he'll go on in. There's always a way to get what you want, if you want it bad enough. Holden says it seems to him Damian wants Lily. That's the only reason he'd consider this offer. Damian admits he has a personal interest in Lily, but this is business. He tells Holden that his is ready to take on Monte Cristo. No one knows the businesses as well as he does, and Dumas knows he's loyal. They shake on it, but Damian feels Holden's still not sold. Holden admits he fears Damian would be throwing him to the wolves given he's lost trust in Dumas. Damian reminds him he can say no. Holden needs time to process this. Damian still doesn't know what he's going to do. Holden thinks he has one foot out the door. If the deal is done, he'll need to decide his next move. Holden walks out and Damian calls Lily to tell her he's given some thought to her offer. He wants to meet to tell her his decision. At Society, Nate and Devin compare notes about Lily's idea. Devin reminds his cousin they brought her back for a reason. She's good at reading people. He's not sure he's sold on the plan, but if Dumas is trouble, it might be best for all of them. Nate doesn't want Damian to fall prey to some ruthless businessman. They've all been there with Victor Newman. At Newman Media, Chelsea fumes about Victor ordering them to run another hit piece on Billy. She's sure his father doesn't want to hear her objections. Adam doesn't want to hear them either. He already knows what they'll be. Chelsea wants to protect Billy or anyone from an unwarranted smear campaign. Adam says it's their first professional disagreement. Chelsea asks if it's actually professional. Is this Victor's way of testing my loyalty? Adam insists Victor approves of him hiring her. Chelsea is sure her theory makes perfect sense. She's seen him put Adam and his siblings to the test time and again. Why would she be anything different? Adam says he has an agenda. Chelsea says he got the company away from Billy and gave it to Nikki already. Why can't he just accept the win? He always needs more. Billy's finally starting a new venture, and Victor wants to hurt him. You're telling me that's not personal. Adam explains it's more about Aristotle Dumas. They think he's going after Chancellor. Chelsea asks if he actually cares about that, or if he just wants to hurt Abbott Communications. Was this Victor's idea or Adam's? Adam denies it was his idea. If she can't take his word, this isn't going to work. Chelsea asks for his word that going forward he will never use Newman Media to take Billy down. Adam takes exception to her jumping to Billy's defense before asking his feelings on it. Is she Team Billy? Chelsea wants to help people, not hurt them. Adam wants that too. He's saying yes to revision. She asks if he'll say no to Victor. Adam says Billy can self-destruct on his own. Chelsea's thrilled and hugs him. Adam warns he will protect his family if Billy comes after them. Why else would he be involved with Dumas? They sit, and Chelsea asks to hear more about Dumas. Adam says he works in the shadows. He came out of nowhere about 6 years ago and made his fortune in real estate. Chelsea learns no one has seen his face. Adam says Billy and Dumas have a meeting set up. His father assumes it's about Chancellor. Can she now see that Billy has an axe to grind? Adam complains about Chelsea still looking out for Billy. Chelsea doesn't want to hurt him anymore. She decides maybe this was a mistake. Victor will always be. Adam says this isn't about Victor. He's not the same guy he was before they helped Connor heal. Chelsea worries he won't be able to resist Victor's pull. Adam asks her to believe in him. Together they can make this work. They embrace, but Adam looks worried. Billy walks into the club and Victor tells him he's heard his little startup is off to a rough start. He wonders if Billy fired Phyllis, or if she left the job as so many of his coworkers have. Billy grunts that he gave Phyllis some much-needed time off. Victor needles that he knows Sally signed on. Billy complains about him hating people for no reason. When Victor says his family means everything, Billy points out that his kids are his grandkids, yet he's obsessed with tearing him down. Why is that? Billy pulls up a chair at Victor's table and points out they've gone toe-to-toe all these years, and after all his cheek shots, he's still standing. Victor tells him to count his blessings. Billy thinks he's obsessed with him. What other reason would he have for continually trying to tear him down? Victor says, "Let's try something new." Billy guesses he wants him to leave town. Victor says he can stay. Billy thanks him for his permission. Victor asks what he is going on with Aristotle Dumas. He knows they had a meeting planned, and Dumas canceled. Billy asks what kind of deal he wants to make. Victor will stop an avalanche of bad news about Abbott Communications if he tells him what he's up to with Dumas. Billy rolls his eyes. Billy asks if Victor will have Adam, his puppet, put out another hit piece on him. Victor says it won't look good to Dumas. He advises Billy to steer clear of him. He sees things coming and Billy will not want to get caught between two juggernauts. You stay out of this fight. With that, he walks out. Victor walks into Newman Media and asks Adam if Chelsea's settling in. Adam sighs. He knows his father wants to hear that she's on board with his plan to go after Billy. He doesn't think it's the right approach and has another idea to handle Dumas and the abbot. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. Few folks have been as dedicated to raising money for great causes as the young and the restless Kate Linder. Her teas are always a good time, bringing fans and stars together, help out, and raise money for those in need. This time, though, Linder didn't host a tea, but had a brunch, and clearly had a blast while raising money for breast cancer survivors while she was at it. This past Sunday, May 4th, Linder hosted the event in Vaughan, Ontario, emceed by Candice Daniel, anchor of Global News Morning Toronto, with Christian Jules LeBlanc, Brayton James, Sean Dominic, and Connor Floyd by her side. And the best part is, the Kate Linder and Friends charity fundraiser raised almost $50,000 for the charity after breast cancer. The second best part is that Michelle Morgan was nearby and joined in the fun after the VIP session fans got to participate in before the big brunch. There was food, a queue and a session, a live auction, and a 2-hour autograph session with fans after the event. In other words, it was a full day for a great cause. As Linder shared back when the event was first announced, I am happy and honored to join forces with After Breast Cancer to bring increased awareness of what happens during and after a breast cancer diagnosis. The young and the restless spoilers for the next 3 weeks, May 5 to May 23, reveal that racy conflict, stunning surprises, and a whole lot more hit your fave characters in Genoa City. In the coming days, Audra Charles works hard to deliver the goods to Victor Newman, while Phyllis Summers vows revenge. Here's what you need to know to be in the know. During the week of May 5 to 9, Phyllis has Sally Spectra fearful while her boo and boss, Billy Abbott, tries to downplay the threat. Phyllis is not to be taken lightly, however, and fans know she is capable of making anyone's life miserable. Who ordered the octopus? Speaking of baddies, Victor Newman is on fire this week. First, Victor rubs Billy the wrong way to push his buttons, and he tests Chelsea Lawson's loyalty to Newman Media. Run, Sally, run! Victor also strikes out against Kyle, who runs to Dad Jack Abbott. Kyle fears that Victor will ruin his relationship with Claire Newman, and he is right to be worried. At the same time, Nikki Newman advises Claire to stop worrying about Victor's approval and just be happy. That is easier said than done, however, and Claire may not withstand Victor machinations. This includes having Audra seduce Kyle and ruin his romance. Audra has made a deal with the devil in exchange for funding a new business. What could go wrong? The week of May 12 to 16 sees Audra get her chance to erode trust between Kyle and Claire. Audra needs to make progress in order for Victor to find her new biz, Vibrant. But neither of the schemers counted on Claire turning to Kyle for support after her dad Cole Howard's shock medical diagnosis. When Cole learns about his test results, we predict he hears terrible news. How will Claire and Victoria Newman handle possibly losing Cole? Elsewhere, Mariah Copeland and Tessa Porter are on slippery ground. Did Mariah cheat on her wife? What we do know is that Mariah made a massive drunken mistake while out of town on business. If she didn't cheat, what did she do? The bigger question is, what will Tessa do if Maria betrayed her? Or is there something even worse that Maria did? We are about to find out. During the week of May 19 to 23, expect some Amanda Sinclair related developments as the character is set to make a return to GC. Will Amanda tempt happily married Devin Winters? Without giving too much away, we predict that Devin and Amanda may feel an old familiar spark return. Do you think that Amanda has a connection to the Aristotle Dumas story? Definitely maybe. Spoiler alert. Lily Winters could find herself the odd man out as she tries to wrangle a meeting with Aristotle. And on May 21, fans will see an episode devoted to 3 of GC's most romantic duos. We're talking about Victor and Nikki, Lauren Fenmore and Michael Baldwin, and of course the OG couple Jack and Diane Jenkins Abbott. All in all, the month of May in GC is shaping up to be momentous and memorable, and you don't want to miss a single minute of the red-hot action. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of May 12, 2025 are here. Fans can expect to find out Cole Howard's diagnosis. Meanwhile, Sally Spectra and Chelsea Lawson have a nasty feud. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. Let's begin with Cole, who keeps coughing but is hoping it's just a cold. Victoria Newman urged him to see a doctor. Cole did just that and has been waiting for test results. It's looking more and more like Cole is going to be given a deadly diagnosis. So this will leave Victoria and Claire Grace Newman devastated. Over with Mariah Copeland, she is keeping a secret from Tessa Porter. Fans don't know what the secret is yet, but Maria seems convinced Tessa will leave her if she ever finds out the truth. Maria isn't very good at deception or keeping secrets, so Tessa is already suspicious. This could eventually lead Tessa to confront her wife. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Sally and Chelsea will get into a heated argument. Chelsea just learned that Victor Newman wants Newman Media to do another hit piece on Billy Abbott. While Adam Newman will try to do damage control with Chelsea, it could also cause issues with Sally. Adam keeps saying Victor gave the orders, but Chelsea will think he should stand up to his father. Chelsea could feel compelled to warn Billy as well. It is also teased that Kyle Abbott will blow up. This likely comes after Victor makes another power play against Kyle. Once that happens, it will leave room for Audra Charles to make a bold move. That should become easier for Audra once Claire learns about Cole's sickness. Claire will spend more time with her parents and less with Kyle, giving Audra an opportunity. However, Nate Hastings could have growing concerns about Audra's deal with Victor. There is also Lily Winters, who doesn't trust Audra. Lily also noticed the looks between Audra and Holden Novak. Speaking of Lily, what comes after she makes a shocking business deal? Lily is acting all high and mighty now, but something tells me she's going to get humbled very soon. In her final Soaps.com interview, conducted a little less than a year before her death on May 8, 2013, Jeanne Cooper offered up a simple reminder that few and far between are the actors who understand the genre as well as she did. In daytime, she said, "You have to grow in somebody's heart." Certainly, that was what she had done over the course of her epic 40-year run as Catherine Chancellor, the jewel-encrusted doyenne of the Young and the Restless. The actress reeled us in with the fire in her eyes and the fury in her voice. She made us gasp by delivering lines so pointedly they practically lanced our TVs, and she stunned us over and over again by revealing the vulnerability that lay beneath the bling and the bluster. If for viewers it was difficult to accept that they had lost Cooper, who succumbed to chronic obstructive pulmonary disease at age 84, for her Young and Restless colleagues, it was almost impossible. Heck, it still is. I miss her every day, Kate Linder told Soaps.com in 2021. I half expect to see her coming down the hall or walking onto the set. And when I remember, well, it hits me all over again. But rather than dwell on what we've all lost, even on this somber occasion, let's instead be grateful for what we had. Decades of Cooper dazzling us like a jewelry box thrown open. To help jog your memory, click on the below photo gallery, a collection of highlights from the soap icon's unparalleled run as Catherine. Ever since Michelle Morgan revealed her imminent return to Young and Restless, fans have been speculating about possible reasons for Amanda Sinclair to pop up back in Genoa City. We're happy to report that not only will she be stirring the pot, but that the actress is teasing an intriguing new connection for the character. One that may explain a lot. In a recent chat with TV Insider, Morgan came right out and admitted that Amanda's coming back to represent somebody very mysterious, definitely high-powered, which, at this point, can only be the elusive Aristotle Dumas. It certainly sounds as though Amanda is Dumas' attorney, and that could mean Billy's in for a bit of a shock if he manages to set up a meeting with the mogul and encounters his former friend. As young and restless viewers may recall, Billy and Amanda flirted with the idea of a romance, and indeed Victoria thought something was going on between them, but they merely shared a kiss one stormy night and decided to keep things platonic. Amanda being connected to Dumas could explain how Billy came to be on the reclusive bigwig's radar, and it might also explain why Victor told Lily that inquiries were made about Winters from Aristotle's camp. Perhaps it was Amanda, not Dumas, keeping tabs on her ex, Devon. Speaking of, young and restless fans can expect Amanda to cross paths with Abby during her visit to Genoa City, which should be deliciously uncomfortable given that the blonde cheated with Devon when he was still seeing the lawyer, and later scooped him up and married him. Might Amanda check in with her troubled pal Phyllis as well? Here's hoping that if she does, she realizes that Phyllis headed for a mega meltdown and steps in to help. Otherwise, Sally's worst fears about Phyllis will come to fruition. Kyle's about to have a very frustrating day. For the Friday, May 9 episode of The Young and the Restless, spoilers photos tease Kyle's about to have a very bad day, while Chelsea has something to get off her chest. Move over Romeo and Juliet, Kyle and Claire are the hottest star-crossed lovers around now. He wants her, she wants him, but her granddad isn't down for this romance. The closer they get, the more Victor pushes back, and it looks like his interference is getting to the lovebirds. They'll meet up in the park, and judging by the look on their faces, Claire and Kyle are struggling. Instead of smiling and being full of sunshine and roses, their faces are full of sadness and pain. Is this the beginning of the end of their sweet romance? Is that why Claire runs back to the Newman mansion and throws herself into Nikki's arms? While Claire seeks solace with Nikki, Kyle hits up the office to fume with his father, and not just about what's going on with Claire. The mustache is not just attacking his relationship, he's once again attacking their family company. Things at Jabot are getting messy, and the Abbotts need to keep a handle on everything before it all falls apart. Meanwhile, watch for Chloe to check in with Chelsea, and her timing couldn't be more perfect. Chelsea is struggling working and living with Adam, and she needs to vent. Is Chloe the right person to hear her out, though? She's not exactly known for being diplomatic when it comes to the man who struck down her daughter all those years ago. Lily's bold pitch sent shockwaves through the Winters family as Damian weighed his options, and Devon and Nate feared it could blow up in their faces. The Young and the Restless recap for Thursday, May 8 sees Lily's risky move to recruit Damian rock the Winters family, while Adam and Billy play a dangerous game of one-upmanship and Victor tightens his grip. Things got tense at society when Lily dropped a bombshell on Nate and Devon. The cousins were mid-discussion about their latest business presentation when Lily waltzed in with some major news. She wanted to bring Damian on board at Winters. Devon was not thrilled to learn Lily had already pitched the idea to Damian before running it by them. Nate wondered whether his brother would really consider such a move. But Lily had a deeper strategy. She laid it out. If Damian joined, they could use him to gather intel on Dumas. Nate balked. "You want my brother to be a spy?" he asked. Lily insisted her plan was about protecting the company and Damian too, but Nate wasn't having it. He flat out refused to let her play his brother like that. Devon admitted the whole thing sounded risky. After Lily left, the cousins hashed it out further. Devon acknowledged that Dumas was trouble, and even though they hated the idea, Damian might be their ticket to answers. At Crimson Lights, Damian debriefed Holden on his Boston trip, sharing that Amy was doing better and that he and Nate even caught a ball game together. But Holden cut to the chase. Damian seemed to be settling into Genoa City. Damian confessed that Lily had dangled a job offer that tempted him. Holden wasn't convinced and warned Damian to tread carefully. After Holden left, Damian picked up the phone and called Lily. He was ready to meet and discuss his decision. Meanwhile, over at Newman Media, Chelsea wasn't backing down from her moral high ground. She confronted Adam, furious about Victor's latest scheme to launch a hit piece on Billy. Adam assured her this was business, not personal, but Chelsea wasn't buying it. She demanded that Adam promise never to weaponize Newman Media against Billy. Adam finally agreed unless Billy made a move against their family. Chelsea hugged Adam, but her doubts lingered, especially after Adam warned that Dumas was lurking in the background. He suspected Billy and Dumas might be plotting to steal Chancellor, which made Chelsea uneasy about her new role at Newman. At the GCAC, Billy found himself in Victor's crosshairs. Victor wasted no time taunting him about Phyllis's quick exit from Abbott Communications and poked at his new partnership with Sally. Billy accused Victor of being obsessed with tearing him down, but Victor dangled a deal: spill what he knew about Dumas, and Victor would kill the avalanche of negative press aimed at Billy's company. Billy called Victor's bluff, saying he knew Victor was spooked by Dumas. Once Victor left, Billy made a decisive call. If Dumas wanted that long-awaited meeting, it had to happen now. Victor returned to Newman Media to touch base with Adam and check if Chelsea was fully on board with their scheme. Adam hinted that he had his own plan for how to handle Billy and Dumas, and it might just surprise Victor. It's going to be a day filled with drama on Y and R. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Friday, May 9. Victor at Kyle and Nikki at Claire. They're saying exactly opposite things, but the point is, we know more than you do, child, which is a good point. Victor has made it clear that he forbids Claire from dating Kyle. Victor has exploited Kyle multiple times. He knows how dumb and gullible the Abbott Cheyenne is. Victor doesn't understand why he has to tell Claire this more than once. Fine then, Victor will go directly to the problem. He will corner Kyle, furrow his brow at him, and mumble some vague threats while jabbing his fingers somewhere in the direction of Kyle's breastbone. Surely, Kyle and Claire will be convinced then, right? Claire, meanwhile, is convinced that once Grandpa Dearest sees how happy she is, he will have no choice but to give her and Kyle his blessing. After all, Victor only wants what makes his loved ones happy, right? The only reason he's currently against Kyle is that he hasn't fully grasped the depth of Claire's giddy joy. Yeah, no, Nikki has known Victor for a lot longer than Claire has. She's forgiven him for crimes Claire can't even imagine her beloved Poppy committing. Nikki needs to explain to Claire how life in the Newman family really works. The truth this time, not Victor's usual lies. Adam asked Chelsea to join him at Newman Media. Sure, she said. Chelsea isn't exactly making her own decisions these days. She agrees with whatever she's told. So Chelsea came to work at Newman Media with Adam. It's already not going well, but what's she going to do about it? The Young and the Restless stars joined the Kate Linder and Friends charity fundraiser for After Breast Cancer Presents Shine a Light Brunch in Vaughan, Ontario took place on Sunday, May 4. The event raised almost $50,000 for the charity After Breast Cancer. Candice Daniel, anchor of Global News Morning Toronto, was the MC. Kate Linder came and brought her castmates Christian LeBlanc, Brayton James, Sean Dominic, and Connor Floyd. It was Sean and Connor's first time to attend the event. They all participated in a VIP session before the event and a 2-hour autograph session with fans after the event. Michelle Morgan was nearby and graciously participated in everything after the VIP session. The event included a luncheon, a cast queue and a session moderated by Candace Daniel, and a live auction led by Linder, LeBlanc, and James with assists from their castmates. After Linder, LeBlanc has participated in the most Kate Linder and Friends charity events, followed by James. Morgan also participated in a Kate Linder and Friends charity fundraiser previously. Kate Linder and Friends charity tees were created by Linder and Robin Wiss in 1998, and she loves bringing in her Y and R castmates to Canada to raise funds for different Canadian charities and to meet their devoted fans of Y and R. Victor and Billy's lives turn upside down. On the May 8 episode of The Young and the Restless, Victor and Billy did their by now expected squabbling thing. "You're old. You're stupid. I give you a demeaning nickname. I slept with your daughter." There appears to be no end in sight. But what if Billy takes great pride in being John Abbott's son? He takes the role so personally, he threw a fit when Diane redecorated the Abbott mansion. But Billy being an Abbott wasn't always a sure thing. Before he was born, there was a possibility his real father might be Victor. John was declared the ultimate victor, but we all know how paternity tests and soaps go. What if Billy turns out to be Victor's after all? No, 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 we can hear you screaming. It can't be Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. Billy and Victoria were married. They have children together. No, no, no. Actually, Victoria being a Newman wasn't always a sure thing either. In fact, she was born while her mother, Nikki, was married to a man named Kevin Bancroft. Kevin was presumed to be Victoria's father, not only because he was Nikki's husband, but because Victor had a vasectomy years earlier. So if Billy turns out to be Victor's son, then Victoria can, once again, be Kevin's daughter. And that part will, at least, be Oak. Can you imagine the drama? Can you imagine the angst? Victor puts blood over everything. But will he put the newfound son he hates over the no longer daughter he has to still love? Imagine the power dynamic shuffle. Adam will love it. Nick won't know how to respond. Claire will realize she's not a Newman and doesn't have to listen to Victor about Kyle or anything. A twist like this will throw the entire canvas into turmoil. Now we've got a soap opera. What do you think? Could Billy be Victor's son? Let us know in the comments below.